Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Regimental Combat Team, turn 15.5, Commonwealth. It is July 1943. I have been away on vacation for 5 days, so if there's anything wrong with my board, please let me know. Here's what I have for strategic objectives, victory conditions. Here's what I have for tech. The Commonwealth has 2 tech rolls. First, I tried for improved construction at a 7 or higher. PB generated a 2, so I failed. Second, I tried for long-range aircraft at an 8 or higher. PB generated a 2, so I failed. Okay, purchases. Let's look at purchases. So I got very lucky that the Japanese convoy raiding did not go well. So I have 19 IPP to spend with Great Britain. I will purchase 1 colonial infantry for 4, 2 anti-aircraft artillery for 8, that's 12, and I'll begin construction of a fortification in London for 5, that's 17, so I'll save 2 IPP. FEC, I have 13 IPP to spend, purchase 2 Gurkhas for 8, 1 tank destroyer for 4, that's 12, and I'll save 1. Anzac has 10 IPP to spend. I'll purchase 1 air transport for 8 and save 2 IPP. Previewing the Free French, they have 4 IPP to spend and they'll purchase 1 Foreign Legion and save nothing. Combat movement. Here in A27, a fighter will come off this light carrier here and fly to London, I believe. Let me check that out. 1 to A20, 2 to A21, 3 to lower or southern England, and 4 to London. So land in London. All right, from C-Zone A27, I have this task force here, which is a light carrier, 2 damaged battleships, a destroyer, 2 submarines, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and this naval transport with 2 infantry. All those units move here into A35. I asked Hambone if he wanted to engage with the 2 advanced subs and coastal submarine, and he declined, much to my disappointment. Even though he'd have a chance of hitting the naval transport, I would have loved to try to wipe out those subs, so I think he made the right decision. They will then move into C-Zone A44, and they'll divide up. So the things that have a movement of 2, the 2 damaged battleships and the 2 torpedo boat destroyers, they will go in port in Gibraltar. The naval transport there will drop off its 2 infantry in Gibraltar and go in port in Gibraltar. Guess I'll put this American destroyer on this side. So there in Gibraltar, I'll have the 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 2 naval transports. I've got that American destroyer, and then these 2 damaged battleships. All that is in port in Gibraltar. The stuff that has a movement of 3 will go 1 more move, which is the light carrier, the destroyer, and the 2 subs. They will move into C-Zone M2 over here. All right, what is on the next? Oh, in C-Zone M4, there's a light carrier here with a fighter. It will go on map and try to hunt the Italian coastal sub. Again, I think I tried last turn. So I'll have 1 shot at 6 against that sub. Is there anything else here in the med? No. Okay, in Lower Egypt, 1 infantry is just going to walk over here to Western Egypt. And that's worth 1. So Italy goes down 1 to 12, and Great Britain goes up 1 225. From Upper Egypt, 5 infantry will go into Nubia, and 1 fighter from Lower Egypt will come down to Nubia. It's going to land back in Lower Egypt. From Rhodesia, down here in Rhodesia, this cavalry is going to go 1 into Tanganyika, 2 into Sudan, and liberate Sudan. From Rhodesia, this force of 3 infantry, 2 motorized infantry, and an artillery will move into Bukhanaland and be joined by 1 artillery from Cape Town. So I'll have 2 artillery, 2 motorized infantry, and then 3 infantry. 7 units against the Marine, the Italian Marine there. Okay. I'm from A54. Down here is a heavy cruiser and a destroyer. They are going to move into I-1, where there is an Italian submarine. And I asked Hambone if he wanted to engage in a round of combat. He did not. Then they will move 2 more spaces, 1 to I-3, 1 to I-4, and they'll end the turn right here in I-4. Okay. From Burma, sorry about this, gotta move something out of the way. All right. From Burma, 1 British infantry will move to Anam Tonkin. So that is 1 up for Great Britain and 1 down for Japan. Japan goes to 47, Great Britain goes to 26. And then everything else that's in Burma is going to go into Siam. And there's a mountain border there, right on the very edge there. There's a mountain border. So I'll be attacking with 1 British infantry, 4 FEC infantry, 6 Gurkhas, 2 Anzac artillery, and 2 British anti-aircraft artillery. That's what's attacking the lone militia there. And I think that's everything. Let me just double check if there's anything I'm missing. I don't think so. So really, I've only got 4 combats, even though there's a lot of action. There's not a lot of I don't think there's going to be very many dice rolled this turn. So the first is we'll just try the fighter. 1 shot at 6. Hey, and at 1 even too. Okay, I seem to be able to kill coastal subs. I got a Japanese coastal sub. Now I got the Italian coastal sub. Winnowing down the coastal subs. Let's see, the next one is Nubia, which is a desert. I've got 5 infantry at 1, and then I'll have a fighter at 6. 2, 4, 5. 5 at 1. Miss. And 1 at 6. Hit, and he's got 1 at 4. Nope. Okay. So I take Nubia, which is worth 1. Italy goes down 1, and Great Britain goes up 1. So Italy drops down to 11, and Great Britain goes to 27. Bukhanaland, it's not worth anything. I have 2 first strike, it's clear terrain. I have 2 first strike artillery at 3, and I got a hit. So just everything's falling into place, knock on wood. Okay, so I captured Bukhanaland with 3 infantry, 2 motorized, and 2 artillery. right, and then we've got Siam with the mountain border from Burma. So I've got 2 artillery first strikes at 2. Nope. And I've got 3 unboosted infantry at 1. Nope. And I've got 2 boosted infantry at 2. Nope. And I've got 6 Gurkhas at 3. One hit. Okay, that's what I needed. He's got the 1, is it a militia? 1 militia at 2. Well, it was a totally flawless turn, luck-wise. I did not sustain a hit. So that is worth 1 for Great Britain because it's captured by more than 1 member of the Commonwealth, so that automatically makes it go British. So that's 1 up for Great Britain, 1 down for Japan. So Great Britain goes to 28, Japan goes to 46. All right. Is there anything I am missing? That's all I have on my notes. So non-combat movement. Up here in Labrador, this seaplane is going to fly down here to Gibraltar. So it's 1 to A18, 2 to A26, 3 to A33, 4 to A35, 5 to A44, and 6 land in Gibraltar. From Sea Zone A17, I have these 2 coastal defense ships. They'll move 2 spaces, 1 to A21, 2 to A22, and they'll go in port with the French battleship. From southern England, 2 fighters will fly to London. Okay. From northern England, 1 militia will move to southern England. So I'll have 6 militia in southern England. Okay. From Gibraltar, I'm going to have 1 of these fighters fly onto the carrier, the light carrier that moved down from A27. So sorry. What else? Okay, from northern Algeria, this fighter is going to fly over to Lower Egypt. And the fighter that's there in Lower Egypt is going to fly 1 to I-5, 2 to I-4, 3 to I-3, and 4 to land in Madagascar. That fighter from Nubia needs to land in Lower Egypt. From Transjordan, 2 infantry will move to Lower Egypt, and from Lower Egypt, 2 infantry will move to Upper Egypt. From C-Zone M4, this task force is going to move to M2. From M4, this fighter will come off map and land on the carrier in C-Zone M2. In this task force, there's a battleship that came from M2. It's going to go in port in Gibraltar. Let me just think here. 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, sorry, just Hambone makes you paranoid. He's a very tricky player. Got to be really careful, and I'm already a paranoid player as it is. Oh, also from M2, the torpedo boat destroyer is going to go in port in Gibraltar. It moved from M4 over to M2. It's going to join so that I have my torpedo boat destroyers and battleships in port there in Gibraltar. And the force from M4 that moved to M2 is right here. A light carrier with a fighter. Well, the fighter landed. A battle cruiser, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 British light cruisers. Here in Malta, this naval transport is going to leave port to C-Zone M4 and then move over to Gibraltar. So I have 3 naval transports there in port in Gibraltar. Okay, from Transjordan. Oh, I already did that. 2 infantry, Madagascar. Yep, Lower Egypt. Okay, I-4. From C-Zone I-4, I have 3 heavy cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser. These 4 ships will move to C-Zone M2 and join the big force there in M2. All right. Now we've got some naval transport moves. The British naval transport is going to move to I-5 and go in port in Lower Egypt. The Anzac naval transport is going to move to Kuwait. It's going to go up here to I-6 and go in port in Kuwait. Okay, I think that is... Oh, nope, I've got one more move. I'm moving the submarine that's in P64 way over here. This submarine is going to go from P64 to A44, or P44, I mean, which is Palau, up here to Palau. Oh, and I'm going to move a couple... What am I going to do with these guys? Let's see. Let's see, 1, 2. I think I'm going to move them up to Burma. Is that the right move? Let's see, he could come 1, 2. Again, I think I'm okay. All right. Placement of units. So for Anzac, I'm putting the air transport down here in Sydney. For FEC, I am putting a tank destroyer in Calcutta and 2 Gurkhas in Bengal. And then for Great Britain, I'm going to put the Colonial Infantry in Cape Town. And up in London, I'm going to start the fortification and put 2 anti-aircraft artillery. I guess I need a couple chips. No. I messed that up. I don't need 2 chips. I was confusing my task force card of Malta with my task force card for London. So I've just got 2 anti-aircraft there in London. All right, collect income. So Great Britain is at 28, plus 5 bonus income is 33. FEC is at 11, plus 2. Oh, one more thing. I saved with Great Britain. I saved 2, so 35. Got 35 with Great Britain. FEC is 11, plus 2 bonus income, plus 1 saved is 14. Anzac is 6, plus 2 bonus income, plus 2 saved is 10. Okay, France's turn. I purchased the Foreign Legion for 4. I have a couple combat moves. The first is this submarine will convoy raid there in M4, and the second is that 1 Foreign Legion will move to Southwest Africa to capture that or liberate that for Great Britain. That is it. So I just have the 1 convoy roll on Italy. I have a plus 2, and I think, does Italy have radar? Let's take a peek there. Italy does have radar, so he gets a plus 1, so it's a net of plus 1 to me. Red is the attacker. And I continue with the flawless turn. 1 point of damage on the Italians. So let's look at how much that'll leave Italy in the bank. Looks like they have 12 left over in the bank. All right, non-combat movement. I think I got a couple. French non-combats. The first is in Cape Town. I'm going to move the 2 Foreign Legions that are there. We'll move into Buchanan. I don't think Hambone's going to attack me in Buchanan, but if he does, I will be prepared. All right, and then the other one is that I'm going to fly the medium bomber that's in Calcutta will fly 5 spaces, 1 to southern India, 2 to I-7, 3 to I-4, 4 to I-3, and 5 to land in Madagascar. Alrighty, I think that's it. Oh, nope. I have one more move. From Tanganyika, this mechanized infantry will move 1-2 to Bukhanaland to join the little army there. Okay. Yep. Okay, that's everything. So placement of units, I will add another Foreign Legion to Cameroon. And we will... You know what? I don't care about that, about Cameroon. Italy can attack me and Cameroon take all my money. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to call an audible and put it in French Somaliland. Then the Free French collect 3 IPP and they'll have 3 for next turn. Disposition of forces. In southern England, 6 militia, 4 infantry, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, 1 American fighter. In London, 1 airborne infantry, 2 Marines, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, 4 British fighters, 1 American fighter, 1 air transport. In port in London, 1 French battleship, 2 coastal defense ships. In Sea Zone A-23, 1 coastal defense ship, 1 torpedo boat destroyer, 1 British fighter on map. In Sea Zone A-22, 1 French fighter on map. Down here in Gibraltar, in port, 1 undamaged battleship, 2 damaged battleships, 1 American destroyer, 3 British torpedo boat destroyers, 3 British naval transports, 1 fighter, 1 seaplane, and then the task force marker card there is 1 militia, 2 infantry, 1 British anti-aircraft artillery. In Sea Zone M2, 2 light carriers with 1 fighter each, 1 battle cruiser, 5 heavy cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser, 2 British light cruisers, 1 destroyer, 2 submarines. And then there's also the American fleet there, which consists of a fleet carrier with a tactical and a fighter, a battleship, 2 light cruisers, 2 destroyers, an attack transport, a normal transport, and a coastal sub. Those are the American forces. Okay. In Malta, 1 militia, 1 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft artillery. There's a French submarine in Sea Zone M4. In Cyprus, a militia. In Syria, a militia. In Transjordan, a militia. In Western Egypt, 1 infantry. In Lower Egypt, 1 militia, 7 British infantry, 1 mountain infantry, 1 marine, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, 2 fighters, and a naval transport in port. In Upper Egypt, 2 infantry. In Nubia, 5 infantry. In Italian Somaliland, 2 infantry, 2 marines. In Sea Zone I-4, I'm going to put those guys in port. A heavy cruiser and a destroyer will go in port in Aden. Should I do that? Is there some way that he attacks me? Hold on. Sorry about this. Anytime I call an audible. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's fine to be in port. I'm going to stay in port. Okay. Let's see. I did Italian Somaliland. Sudan has a cavalry. Cameroon has a foreign legion. Oh, French Somaliland has a foreign legion. Madagascar has a militia, a Free French militia, a Free French medium bomber, and a British fighter. Bucanaland has 3 British infantry, 2 Free French Foreign Legion, 2 British motorized infantry, 1 Free French mechanized infantry, 2 artillery. In Cape Town, you can't see them, but there's a militia and a infantry. In Kuwait, there are 2 infantry and an Anzac naval transport in port. In Ceylon, a militia. In Calcutta, there are 3 militia, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, a fighter, a medium bomber, and a tank destroyer. In Bengal, 2 Gurkhas. In Burma, 1 FEC infantry, 2 Gurkhas. In Siam, 1 British infantry, 4 FEC infantry, 6 Gurkhas, 2 Anzac artillery, 2 anti-aircraft artillery. In Anam Tonkin, 1 British infantry. In Hong Kong, 1 British infantry. In C-Zone P44, 1 Anzac submarine. In Queensland, 2 militia, 4 infantry, 1 motorized infantry, 1 anti-aircraft artillery, 1 medium bomber. In Sydney, 4 militia, 1 airborne infantry, 1 partially completed fortification. Also, there's a partially completed fortification in Lower Egypt and a partially completed fortification in London. There's an air transport. New Zealand and North and South Island have a militia each. Next up is Hambone with turn 15.7, Italy.